Howdy y'all, it's Rock the Jake. We got another sweet tea in a movie for you. This time, it's Thor.
Through the eye of the storm, you are never alone.
Aye, this be a mighty ale, but I like this cup too, so I'm not going to smash it on the ground. But this sweet tea, oh, it's very good. I'm terrible at keeping an accent. Alright, so this time we're talking about Thor, the very first superhero movie of the year. And I gotta say, very good one. So I'm going to go ahead and elaborate on why it's quite good. First of all, let's talk about the acting. I'm going to go ahead and say off the front, I do not know and do not remember the name of the actor for Thor. But what I do remember is how good he was. And something that was really cool about it was the classic scenario of person who doesn't belong in that type of setting, you know, gets there and is confused about the way things work. But the cool thing was that the way his curiosity and cockiness, but also his noble nature worked together, is that when Natalie Portman, very good actress, mind you, tells him to, for instance, not smash a cup on the ground, he listens. He knows how to listen. He's not a big dumb ape. He's smart. And just his nature and their nature, it works really well. I gotta admit, I feel like the romance was a little bit far-fetched. It could have been developed a little bit more, but nonetheless, it was still kind of cool to look at. And like I said, the actor for Thor was great. Some of the other actors, like the brother and the father, they did a good job too. The brother, maybe I'm just naive, but I didn't really see him as the ultimate villain until maybe midway through the movie. Sorry for spoilers, by the way. But it's been out for a few weeks now, come on. But as far as him and his father, they did pretty good jobs too. The father a little bit more so. So I gotta say, good job on the acting. It could have been a little bit better, but for what it was, very good job. Story. The story was very good. Now, I haven't read the comics, and I don't know where to find any. But from what I could tell, it seems like it probably had some additions to the original story, but it stayed true for the most part. And everything executed itself very well. It all went out very good. I liked it. It was a good, enjoyable story, and it had me on, not necessarily on the edge of my seat, but it had me wondering about some things, and they eventually got resolved. So, good job on the story. Music. Now, I gotta say, I was a little bit disappointed in the music for this one. It's not that it's been worse than anything I've seen before, it's just that for a movie that I can only describe as grand, the music was not much so. It was pretty standard action movie music, and I really wanted it to be something more, something that I could remember weeks later. But unfortunately that's just not the case. And I feel like if the music had been something more and something more pounding and driven or something, it would have helped the story flourish even more and the acting flourish even more. So I gotta say, not very good job on the music in this movie. Finally, the settings. The settings in this movie, like I said before, this movie is grand and there's no exception in the settings. Asgard has great settings. It's grand and it's beautiful and it looks awesome, and the Rainbow Bridge looks really cool too. It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of God of War for some reason. Maybe that's a little bit far-fetched, but you know. And even the town, it looked really nice. It was a smaller town out west, and it looked really good. Not like, you know, old west, but it's just out west and it looked good. So good job on the settings. So overall, this was a very fun, enjoyable movie, and it was just really, the only way I can truly describe it is grand. Everything about it, minus the music, is grand, and it was just great. It was really fun to watch. Now, I just want to say that even though I didn't enjoy the music, you, the viewer, will probably not even notice it. So don't worry about it. This is just my personal opinion. I'm trying to stay level-headed here. So my final verdict for the movie Thor is a very solid 8 out of 10. It's a fantastic movie. You should go see it in theaters if it's still there. And you should definitely get it on at least DVD, if not Blu-ray. Especially Blu-ray, for it to look so good. So that's it. I'm done with that one. Peace.